Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera, two names that echo through the halls of art history, names that scream passion, drama, and enough eyebrow inspiration for centuries. Their relationship was as intense and colourful as their art. He, a giant of a man known for his murals. Diego Rivera, the towering figure who painted the struggles and triumphs of the working class. She, a tiny powerhouse who poured her pain onto canvas. Frida Kahlo, the woman who turned her suffering into masterpieces that still captivate the world.
They were like the Beyoncé and Jay-Z of the art world, except way more dysfunctional. Their love was a roller coaster ride, full of highs and lows that would make any soap opera jealous. Think more Sid and Nancy, but with better art. Their relationship was a whirlwind of passion, betrayal, and artistic brilliance.
Frida, the queen of self-portraits, staring at you with that "I dare you to judge me" look in her eyes. Her gaze was piercing, challenging anyone who dared to look away. Diego, the communist muralist, painting workers and revolutions on walls big enough to make Banksy jealous. His murals were grand, capturing the essence of social and political movements. Together, they were an explosion of colour, controversy, and enough baggage to fill the cargo hold of a Boeing 747. Their art was a reflection of their tumultuous relationship, vibrant and full of life.
Their love story? A telenovela on steroids. It was a saga of love, betrayal, and redemption that played out on the canvas, full of affairs, breakups, and enough emotional turmoil to fuel 1,000 art exhibits. Their personal lives were as dramatic as their art, each piece telling a story of their struggles and triumphs.
Let's just say, these two weren't exactly winning Couple of the Year awards. Their relationship was far from perfect, but it was real and raw. More like most likely to air their dirty laundry on Canvas Awards. Their art was a window into their souls, revealing their deepest fears and desires. But hey, who needs therapy when you have art, right? For Frida and Diego, art was their therapy, their way of coping with the chaos of their lives. Through their art, they found a way to express their pain, their love, and their passion. Their legacy lives on, inspiring generations of artists to pour their hearts onto the canvas, just like they did. Today, their works hang in museums around the world, a testament to their enduring impact on the art world. Their story is a reminder that art is not just about beauty, but about truth and emotion. Even in death, they remain icons, their graves adorned with flowers and tributes from fans who continue to be moved by their art and their story. Frida and Diego may not have had a fairy tale romance, but their love and their art have left an indelible mark on the world. So the next time you see a Frida Kahlo self-portrait or a Diego Rivera mural, remember the passion, the drama, and the incredible talent that went into creating those masterpieces. They were more than just artists. They were storytellers, rebels, and lovers who lived and created with every fibre of their being. And that, my friends, is the true power of art. It transcends time, it tells stories, and it connects us to the human experience in ways that words alone cannot. Frida and Diego's art continues to speak to us, reminding us of the beauty and complexity of life. So let's celebrate their legacy, their art, and their incredible journey. Because in the end, it's not just about the art they created, but the lives they touched and the inspiration they continue to provide. Here's to Frida and Diego, the ultimate art world power couple. Just kidding. Frida and Diego first met in the 1920s in Mexico City. The city was a vibrant hub of culture and revolution, a place where art and politics intertwined seamlessly. It was in this bustling environment that Frida Kahlo, a young and ambitious art student, crossed paths with Diego Rivera, a man already established as a famous muralist. She was a young, ambitious art student. Frida was known for her fiery spirit and her unique perspective on life, which she poured into her art. Her early works were already showing signs of the bold and unapologetic style that would later define her career. He was a famous and married muralist twice her age. Diego Rivera was not just any artist. He was a towering figure in the Mexican art scene, known for his grand murals that depicted the struggles and triumphs of the Mexican people. His work was celebrated, and he was surrounded by admirers wherever he went. It was like a really bad idea wrapped in a brightly colored rebozo. Their relationship was unconventional from the start, a whirlwind of emotions and contradictions. Frida with her traditional Mexican clothing and rebellious spirit, and Diego with his larger-than-life presence and complex personality, made for a striking pair.
Their relationship was a fiery cocktail of passion, jealousy, and enough tequila to drown a mariachi band. They were often seen at parties, surrounded by friends and fellow artists, their intense connection evident to all. But their passion also led to frequent arguments and bouts of jealousy. They argued, they reconciled, they cheated on each other with reckless abandon. Their love was tumultuous, marked by dramatic highs and lows. Despite the betrayals and heartbreaks, they always found their way back to each other, their bond seemingly unbreakable.
Think of them as the Ross and Rachel of the art world if Ross and Rachel were constantly covered in paint and occasionally dabbled in communism. Their relationship was as much about their shared political beliefs as it was about their art. Both were passionate communists, and their political activism was a significant part of their lives together. They married in 1929, much to the horror of Frida's parents. Her parents were not thrilled about the union, seeing Diego as a bad influence on their daughter, but Frida was determined, and their wedding was a colorful affair, reflecting their vibrant personalities.
Her mom famously said Diego was like an elephant marrying a dove. She wasn't wrong. The physical contrast between them was striking, with Diego's large frame towering over Frida's petite figure. But despite their differences, they complemented each other in unexpected ways. He was a big dude, and Frida was tiny but mighty. Frida's strength was not in her size but in her spirit. She was a force to be reckoned with, her determination and resilience shining through in everything she did, like a chihuahua with the bite of a Doberman. Frida's fierce personality and unyielding passion for her art made her a formidable presence, both in her personal life and in the art world. Her legacy continues to inspire and captivate people around the globe.
Frida Kahlo's art was deeply personal. She painted her pain, her struggles, and her tumultuous relationship with Diego. Her self-portraits are like a visual diary, full of symbolism and raw emotion. Imagine a cross between Frida's diary and a medical textbook. Yeah, not for the faint of heart.
There's blood, there's hearts outside of bodies, there are roots growing out of everything. It's like if Tim Burton directed a documentary about Frida's internal organs. You're both fascinated and slightly terrified.
Her most famous painting, The Two Fridas, shows two versions of herself, connected by a shared artery. One Frida represents the side of her influenced by Diego, the other her independent spirit. Spoiler alert, neither of them looks very happy.
Diego Rivera, on the other hand, was all about the grand gesture. His murals were huge, bold, and unapologetically political.
I painted workers, revolutionaries, and indigenous Mexican culture on walls that could make Michelangelo say, "Dude, chill out with the scaffolding already."
Diego's murals were like Twitter rants, but with more paint and fewer trolls. He loved to stir the pot, especially when it came to politics.
He was a die-hard communist, which didn't always go over well in certain circles. Remember that time he painted a giant portrait of Lenin in Rockefeller Center? Yeah, the Rockefellers weren't too thrilled about that one.
But hey, give the guy some credit. He wasn't afraid to use his art to make a statement, even if that statement was sometimes, "I really like hammers and sickles, guys," like a lot. Now, back to their love life. Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera, two of the most iconic artists of the 20th century, had a relationship that was as colorful and tumultuous as their art. Their love story is one for the ages, filled with passion, creativity, and a fair share of drama. Or should we say, love lives? Yes, you heard that right. Their relationship was anything but conventional. Both Frida and Diego had numerous affairs, and their open marriage was a source of both inspiration and heartache, because these two were about as faithful as a pack of stray cats in a tuna factory. Their infidelities were legendary, and they often found themselves entangled in complicated love triangles or even love quadrangles.
Our relationship was a constant cycle of passionate reunions and explosive arguments, fueled by infidelity, jealousy, and probably a whole lot of tequila. We loved each other deeply, but our love was also a source of immense pain.
Imagine a soap opera written by a surrealist playwright who's really into Mexican folklore. Their relationship was a whirlwind of emotions, a roller coaster ride that kept everyone around them on their toes. It was messy, it was dramatic, and it was never, ever boring. Their love story was filled with highs and lows, moments of intense passion followed by periods of bitter conflict.
I was a notorious womanizer. My affairs were numerous and often public, causing a great deal of pain to Frida. But despite my flaws, she loved me deeply. I even cheated on Frida with her sister, which is like a new low in the cheating Olympics. This betrayal was one of the most painful moments in our relationship, but somehow we managed to find our way back to each other.
Frida, in turn, had affairs with both men and women, including Leon Trotsky. Because why not add a communist revolutionary to the mix? Her relationships were as complex and multifaceted as her art. It's like they were playing relationship bingo, and the goal was to fill out the most outrageous squares possible. Their love story was unconventional, to say the least, but it was also a testament to their deep connection and the unique bond they shared. Despite all the chaos, they remained each other's greatest muses, inspiring some of the most iconic works of art in history. Speaking of Trotsky, let's talk about Frida's little fling with the exiled Russian revolutionary. Because nothing says I'm over my husband like taking up with a guy who's on Stalin's hit list.
Frida and Trotsky's affair was short-lived but passionate. She was drawn to his intellect and revolutionary spirit, while he was probably just happy to have a break from arguing about Marxist theory.
Plus, who could resist my charm? I was like a walking, talking work of art, with eyebrows that could stop traffic.
Diego, surprisingly, was pretty chill about the whole thing. Maybe he was too busy chasing other women to care. Or maybe he was just relieved that Frida had found someone else to argue with about politics.
Either way, the Trotsky affair became just another chapter in the epic saga that was Frida and Diego's relationship.